So what are you going to do if Trump wins?
Nothing. Nothing. Going on with my show and making jokes at his expense every week. And that's why this is a great country. Because as crazy as he is, he didn't do anything about it the first time. So I'm just not going to lose my nervous system about now. He could. He's insane. So he could like start sending people to Guantanamo Bay. I don't put anything past this guy. He thinks they're eating the cats and the dogs. But am I going to worry about it? First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
So you think he's just worn it out? You think people are
Yes.
just going to get fatigued?
Enough. I
Just
feel,
category fatigue.
I mean, it's just going to be, we're talking about a few 100,000 people, perhaps, but I think it's going to be a little closer than that. First of all, she's definitely going to win the popular vote, as Democrats almost always do now. But I think she will win. I don't think, I think he will, of course, go batshit insane as he always does. He won't accept it. His followers, I think, I don't think their heart will really be in it as it was in 2020. Some of them, there's lots of people who will always be in the bunker with Mrs. Goebbels taking the poison and giving the poison to the children because it's better than living in a world without National Socialism. I make an analogy, but I don't say he's a Nazi. But I think for most people, it's just fatigue. Yes, I think it's time.
Wow. So in a rare instance of agreeing with almost everything Bill Maher said, um, I will also go out and say I do think Kamala Harris is going to win the election, but not for the exact reason that Bill Maher is articulating. I don't think that people like there's been a weird shift in terms of the people that are now supporting Trump. Like it seems like there's a lot more open support for him, which absolutely blows my mind. And again, I don't know if that's just because I'm on, Twitter, spending time on X every now and then to find news, and it's become so inundated with right-wing garbage because of what Elon Musk has done in boosting his right-wing, madness and suppressing left-wing individuals on his free speech Twitter platform. But there are a lot of people that are more openly like coming out and supporting Trump, even though this is the Trump that is more deranged and vile and violent, and this is post January 6th, and this is after he appointed the Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe versus Wade and have led to so much pain and confusion and misery for so many women across this country with regard to their own health and health care, and just having a generally chaotic and failing presidency that we all witnessed and lived through, and that most of us sane Americans don't want to go back and live through again. There's still a lot of people that support the guy, and a lot of it's economics related. It's this perception that he was better, uh, uh, you know, in terms of inflation than this current administration. Of course, you could argue that it was his disastrous handling of the pandemic that caused a lot of the inflation that we're dealing with, but that's a different story. I understand what people are dealing with. I understand the perception of the situation. Um, but he definitely has a lot of support. Again, I think he will get a similar amount of support, a similar surge in support, and that I just think that that will be there for him. I just believe that on the other side, the issues, again, of abortion primarily driving women voters, and there are more women in this country than there are men. It's like by 1 or 2%. It's not much. But the margins there, Kamala is crushing Trump devastatingly. She's losing some support in terms of African American and Hispanic, but I believe that raw women voting number, as well as young people doing their duty and coming out and shutting down this movement once and for all. Bill Maher is absolutely correct. He's going to cause a stink, and he's going to lie and smear and cause all kinds of chaos and try to overturn the election again. He just won't be able to. Again, it depends how close the election is, really. But they will fight it. They'll fight it to the very, very end in the courts. Um, and what else is there to say? I do. Oh, and then finally, with regards to, what if he does win? The thing that I wish, I mean, I cared, I do care a lot. I do care, right? I care who's the president. I care what's going to happen and what policies, these things are very, very important. It affects people's lives. It's life or death in many instances. It's about getting health care or not getting health care. It's about affording being able to afford having a kid or afford buying a home or starting a business or any number of these things that we aspire to as Americans or as humans. But my take on it this time is if he does win, I'm going to try to not take it as hard. I was really shocked and devastated the last time when Trump won. I just couldn't fathom it. I think he's a horrible, horrible person. I think he deserves to be nowhere near the White House and near any kind of power. He's just a disturbed con man with all kinds of psychiatric problems, and now he's in certain mental decline. And it's horrifying that he is, about 50-50 chance of winning. Again, I don't think he will win. That's just my projection. Talk to someone else and you'll get a different answer. But that's the way I see it. So yeah, just like Bill Maher says, I'm going to try to just, get back to doing my own thing and moving myself forward, even in the midst of having an absolute tyrant and a freak at president. So those are my thoughts on this particular clip. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.